Tucker, the New York Daily News today talks about wave of fear, talks about the immigration raids, and they're making it seem like the immigration agents are going door to door, trying to take everybody back to Mexico or wherever they came from if they're in the country illegally. I want you to watch this montage of some of the hysterics on the nightly newses and then get your analysis of what's going on.
Immigration raids, some communities on edge after a string of deportation raids in at least 6 states. More than 16 million people in this country live in a household with at least one undocumented immigrant.
Families of undocumented immigrants say they are now living in fear.
In Texas, video on social media showing a man being detained by an ICE agent in front of a fast food restaurant sends a chilling message.
We're following breaking news, an enforcement surge in undocumented immigrant arrests. Targeted raids, rounding up hundreds of foreign nationals. Is the new administration behind the latest crackdown?
A stern warning to all 11 million undocumented living in the United States, most of them law-abiding and paying taxes and working, that they're no longer safe to stay here.
Well, what do you think about the chilling message where Donald Trump is doing what he said he was going to do out on the campaign trail?
I love that. I just love the little editorials posing as news segments on these channels. Look, it's not even clear that these are the result of orders given by the president. Maybe they are, maybe they aren't. They will be if he follows through on what he's promised to do, and I think he probably will. But just some context. So during the Obama administration, over 8 years, that administration deported about 2 million illegal aliens from this country. The majority of those were people with felony records. So like in the last year, I think they deported something like 170,000 in 1 year. In the last 5 days in California, part of the reason for this hysteria, ICE arrested 165 people. 165. So that's the crackdown.
Yeah.
But the bigger question is, what is the argument? Are they saying that people who are here, illegal aliens with felony records, have a moral right to stay here? Okay. Because why? And that it's somehow immoral for the United States government to try and make them go back to their country of origin? I mean, is that what they're saying? They don't bother to make that argument, to articulate it. Instead, they just suggest that this is somehow fascist or scary or communities are living in fear unjustifiably. But like, what is the argument exactly?
Well, Tucker, a lot of people are accusing the past administration, the Obama administration, of caring more about the illegal immigrants than the people who are taxpayers that live in this country now. In fact, USA Today, how about this headline? It says, what to do if immigration officers come knocking at your door. And it gives you a step-by-step process. What to do if an ICE agent comes to your door and you're here illegally. It says, don't open the door, but be calm. You have rights. If they do not have a warrant signed by a judge, you may refuse to let them in. And if they force their way in, don't resist. Tell everyone in the residence to remain silent.
Interesting. Now, I read USA Today a lot, and I mean, it's news you can use. It's helpful stuff, and I'm waiting for the piece on how I can get away with tax evasion. I mean, are they going to explain that? Or my kids buying beer legally with fake IDs? Are they going to tell them, you know, kind of how to get past the liquor store owner? I mean, like, what is this? To assign a crime as morally acceptable because it's politically acceptable is dangerous. I mean, look, if the editorial board at USA Today or, you know, its overnight news editor thinks that being here illegally and being convicted of a felony shouldn't be a crime, then, okay, tell us why. But to counsel openly, like, ways to resist the law passed by Congress is a little bit weird.
Well, what about the reaction to all this stuff comes into protests? I mean, we're professional protesters now. You got New York, you got Minneapolis, you got Mexico City, you have North San Francisco, you got the uproars at the Jason Chaffetz events and the Sensenbrenner events. Everyone's just screaming about everything. Are you worried this is going to get out of control?
Yes, I am. And, I think, again, it's good, and this is why we have elections, and sometimes they need to shock the system. You know, you need to awaken people, reignite debates that we really should be having. What you don't want to do is break the system. So things can get out of control. I believe in protests, obviously. I believe in having the counter view. I offer up one for a living. But, if you move from a debate into things like violence, then things can spiral out of control. So, yeah, I think it's a legitimate concern. But let me just restate the obvious, which is these are deportations of people convicted of crimes, of felonies. And so does the United States have a right to do that, or doesn't it? I don't think any sober person contests the right of the U.S. government to say, you committed a felony, you have to leave. Like, why is that unfair? It's fair.
Surely.